Well, away from matters pertaining to the courts, let's just cross over to matters pertaining proper pronunciation. It's about that time where we get to usher in Willice, the one master in the highly acclaimed Mind Your Language. Let's see what words he has for us tonight. Willice, the word master, over to you.
Well, dear viewers, wherever you are, it's now that time when we get down to good English pronunciations on your favorite segment, Mind Your Language. I'm Willice Ocheng. I begin by fulfilling the promise. You remember the words that I promised you about last week, and they are right here. The first one, you say helm. Helm, not hem. The second one, you say kiln. Kiln, not kin. And lastly, you say realm. Realm, not rim, not rem. So, that L in the three words is pronounced. It is not silent. Helm, kiln, and realm. That is the way to go. You get them? Good. Now, let's get to our collections of the week. And the first word is right here from the verb gainsay, to gainsay. Now that is to deny. But now, when you have this word, don't say gainsaid. Gainsaid, no. You actually say gainsaid. Gainsaid. The claims cannot be gainsaid. That is the way to pronounce this word. Let us get to the next one. Common, but not very common among the ordinary people or in ordinary communication. This word, how do you say it? You simply say travesty. A travesty of justice. A travesty of justice. Don't say travesty. Travesty. And we are talking about the value or a quality that is expected. But now, this one, you feel that it is not what is expected of something. So, like a travesty of justice. That which is not expected. You get it? Good. Now let's get to the next word. Very common, but can you try? Well, you say fluid. Fluid. Many people find themselves saying fluid. Fluid, no. You say fluid. Just like you say ruin. To ruin something. Don't say ruin. Ruin, no. You say ruin, fluid. That is the way to go. So let's get to our next word. A technical one, and it's right here. It prefers or it refers. You'll excuse me for saying it prefers because I don't know how that one is coming into my mouth, but it refers to a phrase that combines two words that appear or seem to be the opposite of each other. So you say oxymoron. Oxymoron, not oxymoron. Oxymoron, no. After oxy, then moron. Oxymoron. That is clear enough. Yes? Good. Now, let's get to another one. And I would request you to also try to pronounce this word. Well, you simply say issue, and you can also say issue. Both pronunciations are acceptable as alternatives. Issue or issue. So get them right whether it functions as a verb or as a noun. Issue, issue. Yes, that is it. So let's get to the next one. It's right here. Now, this one is a bit tricky because we have the word sad. Sad. But please, when you come to this word, S-A-D in it takes the sounding say. Said, sadist. Don't say a sadist. A sadist. That is a person who likes or enjoys hurting other people. A sadist. So and so is a sadist. That sadist is fond of taunting children. So, sadist is the way to pronounce this word. Don't say sadist. Fine. Let's get to another word which is a bit tricky, and it's right here. It's an adjective, and it means totally unreasonable and disturbing. So, how do you say it? Well, you say preposterous. Preposterous allegations in the divorce case. Preposterous. very disturbing or totally unreasonable. Preposterous. The lawyers would always explain that even further because some of these words, travesty, preposterous, affidavit, miscellaneous, they are words that they use quite often. Anyway, let's get to the next word. Here we have a word that is common, but please, you can say this word in two ways. One, you can say capsize. Capsize with a stress on the second syllable. Capsize. But you can also say capsize. Capsize. You get that? Good. Now, the next one, which is the last one for our collections of the week, is right here. Simple but tricky. Many people find themselves saying where. They were going to the show. No, don't say where. You say were. You simply say were. We were allowed to see the event or to attend the event. Were, not where. You get it? Good. Now, let's get to feedback. And we have TJ Owino of Siaya. You say Porsche. You can also say pension. I know there are people who are wondering about what I'm talking about. It's the same word that you can also pronounce as penchant. Penchant, Porsche, pension. Tricky. That is fondness, if I may simplify it. So TJ Owino of Siaya, I hope you get your word right. Then we have George Wainaina Ndungu. You say honor. Don't say honor. Honor. That H is silent. Honor, honorary, honorable. Don't say honor, honorary, honorable. Very common, but that is like saying this hour. We say hour, not hour, because H is also silent in that word. Now, let's get to Mark Kipsang of Eldoret. You say ball. B-A-L-L. Ball, the ball. But Mark, when you come to your second word, you say the bowl. B-O-W-L. Bowl. So they are different. They are not homophones. Now, Dixon Bosire and Alex Ben of Makueni County. Yes, it's great to interact with police officers on Mind Your Language segment, because nowadays our brothers and sisters, so many of them in the police service, I believe and trust that they love good language and knowledge itself. Keep it up, our brothers and sisters. But here we have Dixon Bosire and Alex Ben of Makueni County. Okay, it's great. Iban Magoma of Kikuyu Law Court, and we have MC Osmond Moturi of Bomet. If you like, you can say Osmond or Osmond. But we have Osmond Moturi of Bomet. You say jewel, a jewel. Don't say jewel. Jewelry, no. Jewel, jewelry or jewelry. Then cliche. Remember, we have niche and niche, but you just say cliche. Don't say cliche. Don't say cliche, please. It's just cliche. Then we have the word indict and albeit. To indict, don't say indict. And don't say albeit. It's albeit and indict. Faith Bosire of Kisi and Pacifica Magoma of Nyamira. You say debris or debris. Don't say debris. Don't say debris. Don't say debris. That S is silent. So, you also say caveat, not caveat. Some of these words, I realize people really love them, but you get them only on Mind Your Language, a segment of Friday Briefing on KTN. And that is KTN News Channel. Now, Stephen Wambua, you say sepulchre. Philip Mandela, you say fashion. Your first word is fashion. The second one, version. Version or version. Then Alex Manthi. Oh, you also asked about Porsche, pension or penchant. So Alex, I hope you got it right. Then Njeri C. Ngugi of Nairobi, you say bass for sound. Bass for sound. But the same B-A-S-S, you can pronounce it as bass when you're talking about fish. Bass for fish, bass for sound. So, Chori Sima, tortoise. Don't say tatas. Tatos, no. Tatos, no. Toto is was. So just say tortoise. And your second word is an owl. An owl. Don't say an owl. An owl, no. O-W-L, owl. So get it right. Now, let's get to another man here who really loves KTN, Friday Briefing, and Mind Your Language, to be exact. Martin Njoroge. You say launch. To launch something. L-A-U-N-C-H. Launch. L-U-N-C-H. Lunch. To have lunch. Then L-O-U-N-G-E. You say lounge. The lounge. Don't say lounge. Lounge, no. Lounge. Finally, you simply say ranch. Ranch. That is R-A-N-C-H. Ranch. Then Ipalmar Paul, you say cracks. Silas Okelo of Kisumu, you say chauffeur. Chauffeur. Don't say chauffeur. Chauffeur, no. That driver. Chauffeur. Befri Andegwi of Quickmart, Nyalenda, you say supermarket. You can say su or siu. Supermarket, supermarket. Super is not very common locally, but it's acceptable in standard English. Then we have Honorable Stephen Nyarangi Onsomu, Mheshimiwa. Stephen Nyarangi Onsomu. We also have Judith Ida Karen, Jamlek Brown, and Brian. You say obsequious. Obsequious. Then you say basically. Basically. But you can also say basically when you can't produce that consonant cluster. K. Basically or basically. Just like clinically or clinically. Historically or historically. It's acceptable when you use that sure. The weak sound a. Kali. Kali. You get that? Good. Now, let's get to the next person here is Janice Mutua of Nakuru. Hiatus. Hiatus. Don't say hiatus or hiatus. Then your second word is moratorium. Moratorium. The next one, liquidity. And finally, liquidation. Liquidity and liquidation. Sulesh, you say commission and commissioner. Don't say commission. Commission, no. Just avoid that. Say commission and commissioner if you are keen on RP, that is received pronunciation and its approximations. You get it right? Great. Then let's get to engineer. You don't say engineer in English. In English, you pronounce that word as engineer. Engine, energy, engineer. Not engine, energy, engineer. Get them right. So, engineer Paul Odindo, imbroglio. Imbroglio. Then Mark Karani Tabu of Mbale Vihiga County, you say statute. Statute. Then we have Tobias Emulolo. What a name, but great. Tobias Emulolo, Albert James, Dr. Osale Victor, Zach Mainga, Kenneth Mutoro, Paulo Art Paulo, Collins Asueto, Jandhiwa, Victor Ngetich, and Laureen Laura. Keep it up because you're watching Mind Your Language only on KTN. Finally, we have here, oh, I can't finish all these, but please, let me just recognize that you have those words. Aline Mukaisi, Kachaya Josh, Albert James, Njoroge Jr., Elkana Matumbei Jr., Sam Wangis, Sarah Joy Maloba, or Malaba, Sarah Joy Malaba, Emmanuel Mokisa, Martha Musioki, Lady Nyawira Kanyora, and we have also Marianne Mwikali. Keep it up because we also appreciate you so much. Now, let's get to that part of our surprise word for tonight. Now, it's right here. So, can you try it? I know many people would innocently, and I repeat, innocently say remit. Remit is what we see. You say to remit. To remit funds. Remit, not remit. You can see the phonetic transcription that I've given at the bottom. Remit. That is the way to go. So, let's get to the words that confuse many people. Now, the first one, or the upper word, you simply say share. Share. Then the two last words are homophones. Different spellings and meanings, but they are pronounced the same way. This one, you say sheer. Sheer. And you also say sheer, by sheer luck. So the last two are pronounced the same way, despite the fact that they have different spellings and meanings. So such words are technically called homophones. Then let's get to matters spelling. So the first pair, you say 40. 40. Saying is easy, but sometimes people find themselves misspelling these words or the word itself. So this very spelling is wrong. We don't have U in the word 40. 40 has F-O-R-T-Y, 40. But it's a bit tricky when you deal with 14. 14 has a U. So F-O-R-T-E-E-N is wrong. You can see the X, it's wrong. But when you say, or when you write it as F-O-U-R-T-E-E-N, you've got it right. So please get the spellings right, and you get all those only on Mind Your Language. Are we together? Good. Now, let's get to the much asked about words. The first one, you say flourish, to flourish, not flourish. We commonly find ourselves saying flourish because of what we hear locally. Flourish, no. To flourish. Second one, nourish. Nourish, not nourish. Then the last one, malnourished. Malnourished, not malnourished. If you are keen on good pronunciations, just say flourish, nourish, and malnourish. That is the way to pronounce them. Then we come to that part that many people really love, the phonetic or sound symbols. And I promised to bring the short and the long, high, back sound oo and oo. So when we have this symbol, this is for the short sound oo, just like in full, full, pull, pull, then ood, ood. Now, when you come to the symbol for the long sound oo, you have it this side. And that is where we have fool, fool, F-O-O-L, fool. Now you don't say full, fool. The second one, P-O-O-L, you say pool, swimming pool. You realize that there is some hesitation, you hesitate a bit. Pool. Then the last one, you say wood, wood, from the word to woo. To woo somebody to your party, then the past tense, wood, wood. So this one is wood, tricky, wood. The other one, wood. Do you get them right? Cool. Now, let's remember that next week, something good will also come. Now, can you say these words? Just try to say them a bit fast because of time. Can you pronounce them? Let me promise that you'll get everything clearly next week. But you can also interact with me on Twitter throughout the week, and that is the way we also get a lot of feedback. And please, you always go to Twitter, and the handle is, as usual, at Willice Ochieng 1. At Willice Ochieng 1. On behalf of my cameraman, Fred Moturi, I have to thank you for getting time, and even those who never got time to watch Mind Your Language for tonight. I have to thank you in a big way and most sincerely as I take you back to the tough team in Nairobi.
Well, many thanks, Willice, the word master. It's good to see you flourishing. Looking forward to next week's words, as you've promised. And you know Willice keeps his promise.
No, but even before we get to next week's words, did you hear supermarket?
Oh, it's a
Willice
supermarket.
will kill us one of these days. Oh. I didn't know that's a thing. I know of supermarket, but supermarket, that's a...
I'm a fan of superheroes, so is it...
No, you're overdoing it. Don't try it. Anyway, next week, couch, coach.
Don't tell them. I'm sure
I will say coachy.
Okay.
It's that simple. But what will the cocktail you say?
Well, we've come to the end of tonight's edition of the Friday Briefing. Many thanks for watching. Make sure you catch Willice, the Word Master, next week in the highly acclaimed Mind Your Language. And of course, as we also get to inform you about the latest developments.
It's definitely. I'm Ashley Wazuri, our sign language interpreter is Marisha Witi. See you tomorrow.
And I'm Jesse Rogers. See you tomorrow as well.